Someone was just asking if I would share some of my favorite adventures and where they were and what that was like. And I got so excited that I wanted to talk about it right now. A lot of times when I'm responding to y'all, it's when I'm in the bathtub because that's when I can rest and relax and be on technology. So that's why there's so many bath videos, I feel like, because I just get excited while I'm in here and I want to tell you. I also had a situation today at the place I'm house sitting where I accidentally set the alarm off and totally stressed me out. And so I stress dosed and I accidentally had too much caffeine today and I still have a cold. So I'm kind of all over the place and really jittery. And I can't tell if I'm low cortisol or high cortisol or caffeinated, but I still just really wanted to talk about adventures. So I've been so unbelievably lucky to go on so many adventures and play and do so many things, really random things, pre and post diagnosis. And I've been really lucky that I have a partner who's really, really adventurous and loves to plan adventures, which is honestly the best because I get to just show up. He organizes everything and I'm just like, well, where are we going? What do I need? So that's been really wonderful. I'm gonna do my best to share some of my favorites. One of the ultimate favorite adventures that we went on together was our honeymoon 3 years ago, which was actually 2 months after I was diagnosed. And we went out on a month-long road trip from Austin to Alaska and back again up the Highway 101 and all along the Pacific coast, and just got to see so much magic and nature and camping and national parks and cities, and it was really, really wonderful. We actually had to come home a little bit early because our cat was having a problem, but also I was really, really sick and I didn't know about stress dosing. So this entire road trip for like 25 days, I was unbelievably ill, but still really wanted to go and play. But yeah, we stopped at Joshua Tree National Park. We went to Harry Potter World in California. We camped all along the beach in California and Oregon, and we went to San Francisco. And I think San Francisco is where I got, no, Canada is where I got the sickest. Brain. Okay. So we traveled and it was really great. We saw the redwoods and it was amazing. And we went to Alaska. Alaska was the last state that my husband had been to. And so he was able to check that off his list. And we went to Glacier National Park, which is kind of insane and amazing. The only way to go is via this boat tour. And it's amazing. You should absolutely do it. But you have to go for like 2 or 3 days to this cabin, and we got a little bit of cabin fever because we really like to go and explore and play, and you were trapped in this cabin and then on this boat for like 8 hours. But that was really wonderful. We wanted to do that before all the glaciers have melted. And then we went up to Canada and we went to Vancouver Island, or Victoria Island. We went to Vancouver, fell in love, would absolutely live there in a heartbeat. That is where I got unbelievably sick. We drove into Canada and I got so sick not knowing what was going on. And when I say sick, I mean like my stomach was so distended. I couldn't digest any food. Pretty much that whole trip I just ate baby food and kombucha. It was awful. I was so sick. And I could barely walk and I could barely breathe. And I was so tired that it was actually my husband's birthday. Felt really bad. And I just like crashed in the hotel and he had to go out without me because I couldn't move and I couldn't do anything. But that was really beautiful. When we went to Victoria Island, I think it's called Victoria Island. We went to Juan de Fuca, which is this amazing enchanted forest, gorgeous coast, unbelievably beautiful. There's apparently this really cool cabin. We didn't stay at it, but people go to just watch the lightning storms on the beach. Totally breathtaking. That entire place felt like out of magical Ferngully Magic Land. That was really wonderful. My dad and I go hiking. We try to go hiking every year along the Pacific Crest Trail. I grew up in the Pacific Northwest, but discovered the Pacific Crest Trail about 3 years ago when I was diagnosed. This was that same year. We just started in Oregon, and my dad and I have been doing just a little section at a time, hiking, together, and it's been really amazing to be in nature and unplug and camp, and definitely pushes my body to the limits. And like clockwork, at 4 o'clock every day, I get so manic and so crazy while we're hiking. My dad, he would always joke, he'd be like, must be 4 o'clock, whenever my cortisol get really low. But Mount Hood is just in Oregon, one of my absolute favorite mountains in the world. And that was where we started our first time. And it was a very, I would say, spiritual experience for me personally, because I love nature and mountains so deeply. And that was such a magical experience. And to be able to do that with my dad is really wonderful. So we try to hike that every year, which is amazing. Other great adventures. My partner and I went to Ireland 4 years ago, and we're both Irish, and so we always really wanted to go to Ireland. And we ended up we flew into Dublin. I'm not a big city person. I also can't eat at restaurants. I don't drink. Most of the things that you do in a city, I don't really get to partake in. I do enjoy museums and looking through, art museums, history museums, but I find, I will be curious if other Spoonies or Addisonians, museums drain my cortisol like crazy. I have discovered I have to take a mobility aid, like walker, mobility aid, with me, or rent one while I'm there, or I won't make it. So I really like seeing museums in different places, but I also battle with it because it's exhausting. So Dublin didn't really do it for me because I can't really play the way I want to play. But we went to Galway, which is a very small Irish city, and it was amazing. And right by the water, and we stayed with the most amazing Airbnb host. We usually Airbnb to save money and to be immersed with people, because that's awesome to be with the locals wherever we are. And we went to Diamond Hill, which is what they call it, but it's Connemara Park, the most amazing mountain hill hike we've ever done. And that was actually where we were going to get engaged. My partner and I just agreed that Ireland was probably where we should get engaged. We would do it together. But when we got to the top of the mountain, we both forgot the rings. And we were like, never mind. So we actually, the next day, went to, I can't think of it because of brain fog, but it's like this really famous place. Cliffs of Moher. We went there the next day and hiked there, and we got engaged there. And we were actually hiking towards O'Brien Castle because my last name used to be O'Brien. And then it started to rain, so we turned around. But we ate delicious oysters while we were there and just rented a car and drove around looking at amazing hills and castles and little sheep babies. We literally just pulled over and I meditated on every hill I could find. So Ireland was super amazing. This year was insane for us, and I've shared a lot of my journeys. But this year alone, I can't even keep track of all of it, but we went to China to meet Jackie Chan, because that's what you do sometimes. We won this contest, and we got to go meet Jackie Chan, which was absolutely insane and amazing, and probably the most exhausting thing I've ever done. 6 days in China is not enough time to regulate your brain on the time zone. We were into Tong, which had a lot of really beautiful temples, and we got to go see the giant Buddhas and the Olympic Center, so that was really lovely. And Jackie treated us to the Kung Fu Film Festival event, and that was a lot of just riding around on buses with a tour group, because we were with this tour group for the event. That's not normally how we travel. I like to travel on my own schedule. The hardest thing about China was it was also really hot and really muggy, But we were not on our own schedule, so we didn't get to choose when we went to the bathroom and when we got to rest and when we got to eat, which if you're a Spoonie, those are like 3 of the most important things in the world. And if you don't have control on your water intake or your bathroom or food, oh my God, you're just set up to fail. So I think China probably pushed my body to extremes. It came back with Maldebarkman syndrome, that like dizziness disease, which is now dissipated, thank goodness. And then like a week after that, I went backpacking. My dad had surgery, so he couldn't do the PCT this year, so one of my best friends was through hiking it, and so she said I could come join her in Washington, and I've posted videos about that. That was a disaster. My body fell apart, but I got to hike up some really beautiful peaks and see some amazing lakes and mountains. And I really love the Pacific Northwest rich green forests. They're so lush and they're so magical and inviting, and I can't imagine a more wonderful place. So I personally love the Pacific Northwest the most. It's so magical. But that trip was very short-lived because I was supposed to hike for like 3 weeks from Washington to Canada, and I only hiked 4 days and had to emergency exit the trail with some severe knee injuries just because I wasn't strong enough. Normally I train really hard every year, and because of China and we also had a road trip to Oklahoma earlier this year, I just didn't dedicate the time to training that my body needed. But I still got to see beautiful things. And this last week, like 3 days ago, we just came back from Germany. One of my besties lives out there, and she got married. It was kind of a last minute thing, and she needed somebody to go be out there for her, and we were in a position where we didn't really have any major commitments going on, and we just were like, okay. Because here's my thoughts with Spoonies and travels and conditions is that for me personally, I don't know how long I'm going to be able to do it. I don't know how long my body will last in that ability, and I want to be able to travel and see the world and be there for my loved ones for as long as I can, because we have to be grateful for every moment, and we don't know how long we're going to have a working body or a body at all. So I was like, well, why not? So we went to Germany for 4 days and got to see the Christmas markets, which if you've never seen the Christmas markets, it's very touristy and jam-packed, but it's also really endearing and magical, and Christmas lights and trees, and if that's your jam, it's pretty cute and fun. But we got to explore Germany 2 years ago on a trip where we went to visit her, and she showed us around Münster, and we also went and visited our friends in Strasbourg, which is like the Alsatian gingerbread nation. That's probably not how they call it, but beautiful cathedrals, gorgeous old town, right on the border of Germany. So we actually got to bike to Germany from France. And in general, travel is, for me, nature, nature, nature. Lush, beautiful country, and gorgeous architecture and history. That is what does it for me, and that's what excites me. I love camping. I love being outside. I love bodies of water. I'm really like up for anything. I think as I've gotten older and my disease has progressed, but I've also like learned how to navigate it a bit more, my staple requirements in traveling and the tools that I take with me adjust, and my toolbox gets bigger and bigger, and I bring more and more, but they all support me being able to do it, and I'm just going to keep doing it as long as I can. I'm going to share, and I shared in a comment previously to the person that asked about my travels, but in this video comments, I'm going to add a clip from, so my partner sometimes will video moments of our adventures and then like splice them together in like teeny tiny 1 to 2 minute little videos. And he did one for every day of our honeymoon, that month-long road trip. And I'm going to just like include in the comments day 3 video of our honeymoon when we were leaving Joshua Tree heading into California, because it has one of my favorite moments of the adventure that was like pretty hysterical and brilliant on his part. Because again, he just plans and I'm like, where are we going? What are we doing? Okay. It's really great. I'm sure there's more that I've loved and I've been so unbelievably grateful for. We also, I'm just going to put it out there, this sounds like we are very schmancy, wealthy people. That is not the case at all. We save money to travel. That's all we spend our money on. I spend my money on medicine, on my bills, and traveling. We don't, it's probably not the smartest thing. And, you know, everyone else that we know is like saving money for buying houses and starting families and all the grown-up things that people do. But honestly, traveling is fun. And that's what we like to do. And that's what we want to spend our life doing. And I don't know, again, I don't mean to be morbid, but like I'm in the mindset of like, well, I don't know how long I'll be alive and how long I get to be a person. So I don't really want to save money for a house and then not be able to go anywhere. So we just travel. And then we come back and we save more money and we go on another adventure. Because that's what's fun for us. And I'm so grateful that my body allows me to do it and that I can. It's definitely changed over the years and it's really exhausting and it's really challenging, but worth it. We're also a little crazy. We like insanity. That's how we roll. Those are my adventures. Again, I'm a bit manic right now because of all the things. But share yours. What are other Spoonies doing? Where are you going? Where should I go next? Yeah. Do that. Give me some ideas on where I should go next. I have some thoughts in my mind and we've been cultivating some plans, but I'm always eager to hear more places to explore. Thanks if you watched this whole thing. This is probably my longest video ever. I could talk about adventures always. Adventuring and Addison's disease are like, and health in general are like things that I could just geek out over forever. Thanks for being here. Light and love and all the spoons, and I hope you have a wonderful day.